Pac-12 has a new media deal. We discussed this with John Wilden, and we also had a couple of different stories on this. But CBS Sports and the Pac-12 extended their partnership, set to begin with the 2025 season, will now carry all the way into 2030, 2031. That is the new deal. And so they have their football championship game on CBS. Also Paramount, the men's basketball championship game will be on CBS and Paramount. There's all sorts of regular season games attached to this as well. And it's not everything yet. There's still more to go, but pretty good deal that they have a partner, which, of course, for a long time, it seemed like for about the last couple of years, you wondered if they had anybody.
Yeah, and this now will enable them to go find that 8th team that they need to retain their status. And, you know, like it says here that Texas State's the favorite, but those talks are ongoing. And they've got about a week or so to get it done before the exit fee goes up on Texas State and the Sun Belt. So, I mean, it's not as momentous as what happened the last few years, but we get a little realignment talk in late June and July with Texas State or potentially somebody else hopping over to the Pac-12.
Yeah, and realistic realignment talk because it's something that's based in facts and is going to happen. I mean, they have to find an 8th partner, so it's not one of those things that like, well, if this works a certain way, you could do this, or if this fell a certain way, you could do that. This is like, no, they have to do it. So, yeah, we're definitely getting some realignment talk officially here in the next couple of weeks, and we've already had some of that for the last few weeks. And you're right, Texas State appears to be the lead dog in the house as we expected and talked a little bit about last week, but we'll see if that gets finalized here in the coming days. I'd expected that it would, and if not, that would be a little bit of a curveball. That would be interesting to see what would happen if it's not Texas State. But as far as the TV deal goes, I mean, good for the Pac. We knew this was coming as well, and CBS is a solid partner, obviously, with a big vacancy post-SEC that they're trying to fill, already a previous relationship there with CBS, so it just made sense to go more in bed with them and to also, you know, still have some other things to be announced. We'll see what that all looks like. But I think, you know, you've got your streaming partner. I did sit there, though, as a college football fan and ask myself when I first saw this am I going to go get Paramount Plus just to watch Pac-12 games? I don't know that I am. I need to see the price on that, but I don't think so. It's not going to be all bundled in like all the other stuff that I would typically have. But
what do you want?
You know, what's that really good non-alcoholic beer I keep hearing about?
Do you have that really great non-alcoholic beer that I keep seeing?
Do you have a non-alcoholic beer that actually
tastes good?
It's athletic. You're holding it.
You mean athletic? You're looking at it.
I think you mean athletic.
It's athletic. Ask for it.
We'll see how many people sign up for Paramount as a result of the Pac. And I know it's a big unanswered question. I mean, the biggest unanswered parts are not known, like how much money this is for. That was not reported. I don't know when or if that will be reported, but I know it's got to be reassuring to just have this amongst the many questions they have to have a big piece answered is good for the Pac-12.
Chris Vanini had this. If you're wondering how the Pac-12 will split revenue, the Athletic has obtained the membership forms or terms. Equal shares keep 50% of the NCAA tournament, the men's basketball tournament. You earn, but Oregon State, Washington State keep the college football money a little bit more, about $3 million annually. So they get a little bit more of a bump because of the college football playoff. There's a lot more details to that, but that's kind of, in a way, initially how they will split things up.
Yeah, I already have Paramount Plus just because there's a couple shows on there that I watch, and I think it comes with a subscription I had anyway. Like they give it away a lot, you know, so it has a lot of rotating promo codes.
What do you watch on there?
I watch. Now I'm blanking. Tulsa King.
Tulsa King.
Tulsa King, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I did watch it. Yeah.
So
a lot of people watch Yellowstone, I guess. I didn't.
That's where it first came out, yeah.
Yeah, so like anything of the Taylor Sheridan universe. He's got a show with Tom Hardy called Mobland I haven't watched yet. So I'll like Dexter's on there now. So like, you know, I'll pick up the thing here and there. So
yeah, I mean,
but specifically for me, I'm not gonna. It better be a pretty good Pac-12 game for me to go seek it out on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to sign up strictly for that. But if they have a deal or something, then that could be tempting to just be able to catch a couple games here and there. I don't have CBS Sports Network. Is that a part of Paramount
Well,
Plus?
CBS Sports Network is kind of molded into it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have that on regular cable, so that's where most of the games will air. It looks like a CBS Sports Network, which I don't have. So, I'm just talking from a place that I think a lot of people are. Don't know how much our audience will really lean into the Pac, but I mean, like I said, my main takeaway from it is there's a lot of details that aren't known, like the money piece, that are the more interesting parts of this. But good for them. Certainly not at this point rooting for them to crater. I think that's kind of come and gone, that whole beef with the Big 12, obviously, a couple of years ago. We've moved on from that, but it was interesting to see the comments, about being a power league and all that the other day, and the discourse about that. But at this point, I mean, good for them. Go get your TV deal, boo-boo, and make some money and get your league straight and get Texas State in there so you can move on and go do what you need to do after that. But this is a big piece for them.
Let me read again the details on this, just a little bit from Chris. The college football playoff will remove its participation bonus in 2026 for the Pac-12, but membership terms state that Oregon State, Washington State will keep all revenue associated with the 3-year agreement, 26, 27, 28, along with all of the NCAA units earned before this year, per the document from controlling the Pac-12. Bob Thompson said this earlier: partner number one secured looks eerily similar to the CBS Mountain West Conference deal. I might surmise that this marks the end of that relationship. Don't read anything into the fact that they just announced, one, that there will also most likely be 2 and or 3 partners before this is done.
I mean, it's looking a lot like that deal. And so that would make sense because they're pretty much in the same ballpark, and you've obviously got some crossover interest there. So that very well could be. And the Pac is a bigger brand name than the Mountain West is at this point. I don't know by how much or how much of a debate that really is, but it is a bigger brand name. And I think with what they've gone and poached from, their last year of hunting, then they've pretty firmly established themselves, I would think, as the top, G6, is that the proper term now?
Yeah.
The top G6. So I could see where that would be, in place of the Mountain West. That would be a little bit more appetizing for CBS. But I mean, good for them. I don't know how many signups you're going to get or how much crossover there is. I'll have to try to catch Paramount Plus on a deal or something like that when they do some of those what do you call it, the temporary, like, kind of.
Well, it's like, remember when you got direct,
like a cell phone or something,
TV,
and you get a free year.
NFL, the Sunday ticket. There's always a little bit of a catch that you get with that. So we'll just kind of see how that plays out, and really how. I have YouTube TV and I have local cable, which is basically, that part of it for me is almost nothing. And I know I see all those logos, Paramount Plus, but that's where I started watching Yellowstone and Tulsa King. So
I mean, that lines up with the next wave of conference contracts with TV deals and potential realignment and that 2030, 2031 pocket. So that makes sense as well to have that line up with everybody else. And again, I'm just interested in the part they didn't mention, which is the actual money going around. But you mentioned the money about.
Yeah, they didn't mention the total money. I thought that Wilner Friday told us between 7 to 8 and 11 million, probably more towards the middle or less.
Yeah, and that's notable. Whatever that number is, I'm sure we'll find out at some point or another. But that's the part that I'm really intrigued by. And I don't know what this means for the Mountain West, for example, but let's see them go get Texas State now and try to wrap this thing up.